Hey, hello, welcome again. Another session about ZBrush and jewelry. My name is Nacho Riesco, and here we will be the next 2 hours sculpting jewelry design with ZBrush. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to all of you who are watching this streaming live, and welcome to all of you who are watching this recording. So, as usual, today, Saturday, is not the normal day that I used to stream normally. But this week it's a different one, so here I am. So I'll try to give you interesting content. As I said before, sculpting this little bird, which we are going to make a brooch. I started with it a month ago on my previous streaming, and today we will continue working on it. Let's see how far we can go with this little guy today. So welcome everybody. Let me know if the music it's okay, my voice sounds good. I will try to keep an eye on the chat just in case you are sending questions and your questions or doubts about what I'm doing. Hey Fexter, here you are. So it doesn't matter if you are in Thursday or Saturday. So you are always, so I really appreciate it. Gracias, amigo, muchas gracias. And hello, Bridges, welcome. And let's start working. Let me check first if everything is working fine here. Looks like yes, all my settings should work. As far as I am checking them, looks like they should work. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's reduce the background music. Let's go ahead. Okay, here we are in YouTube and Twitch and Facebook. Let me check. Okay, sounds okay. We are streaming in Facebook. Okay, YouTube. Okay, and Twitch. Okay. Okay, so I will keep working on this little brooch I started a month ago. So here we have a bunch of different images, which I have been using them just as a reference. This is the main concept I grabbed from the internet, this little bird, and I am trying to transform it into a jewelry design. In this case, it's going to work as a brooch. You can see the back part is cutted. It's gonna be flat or almost flat. So it is going to be weird on a jacket, on a shirt, on the chest as a brooch. So this is some of the reference I have been collecting. Some of them with different kind of references. I will try to use them as more as I can, or try, or at least this is my initial idea, the idea that I have in mind now, but probably we end up in a completely different thing. Let's see, but you can see here on the screen on my ZBrush that I already have this stone distribution layout. I made it using poly paint, so maybe as I will show you how, just in case you are interested in this method. This could be an interesting method, which is commonly used. You can see here on the traditional jewelry making, when you need to cover different surfaces with a lot of stones, or at least with as more stones as possible, which we normally call this technique pavé. It's a French word that means that we are going to cover a surface with many stones with different sizes, as just for don't be making definitive distribution, or just for checking the spaces available we have. So it's a good idea to start painting using polymesh, as I grab here from these references. You can see here how the stones, so they are so tight one to the other. Maybe this could be a good idea depending on the stone setting system that you are going to use. If you are going to make it manually or you are going to make it digitally, and that means that you are going to add the cavities or the spaces for the stones and the prongs on the 3D file. This is, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So add the stones, add the negative spaces for the stones, because at this point my main purpose right now at this moment is making a nice render, not manufacturing the piece, but at the same time I'm trying to make it ready for manufacturing if necessary. That means that if tomorrow or the next month I decide to send this for printing and forecasting, that means that all the work that I did today or maybe on the next month, on the previous month, should work as on the 3D printing and on casting, also on the stone setting. So that means that I'm going to try to make it as more realistic as possible in terms of manufacturing rules. So this is the main goal that I have during my whole of my streaming, not just making beautiful or nice designs. So I try to make them ready for manufacturing, or trying to make things that have sense in real life. So not just on the screen, but I will try to make a manufacturable piece or object. But of course, this bird that I have on my screen that I grab as a reference looks like it is much bigger than mine. In our case, here we have, let's see, first step to take, maybe we can go to Z plugin, open the scale master, and set this, the units of the scene. We are going to work in millimeters. So that means that ZBrush will start giving us millimeter units. That means if I take a measurement from top to bottom, see, you can see I'm really on my top left corner, maybe instead of from this point till the end of the tail, or maybe till here or till here. You can see here on my top left corner, or here on my bottom left corner, here I'm reading 26.5 millimeter. That means that we are about to create a piece about 27 millimeters. That means that it is not going to be a very big piece, a very big object. In terms of, I'm looking for more acute little brooch. But that means that the space available for putting many stones on the surface is not so big as this reference. But again, I think they are going to be enough for showing a nice bright on the surfaces. So let's see how I did this. You can, for example, let me try to keep a copy, because I'm going to use this as a template. Let's duplicate it. For example, this one, I'm gonna hide this one. Let me hide this one, and you can pick and drag just for picking the same color. And now we can go to RGB, build object. So now using the let's open my left tray. Let's put this here. Probably all of you already know this plugin. This is an external plugin. That means that you need to install it on your ZBrush. It doesn't come with the default settings of ZBrush, but it is a very interesting plugin when we talk about jewelry, just like the case that we are working on. So that means that we are going to be able to control the brush size, and we can use the brush size calibrated, in this case in millimeters. And for because the main purpose of this plugin is, the usage of this plugin is for, as you are reading now, IMM draw size. That means that the main purpose of this plugin is to use it for insert brushes, any insert mesh brushes, but also you can control the measurement of a brush stroke with any of the sculpting brushes. In this case, if I press the B, P, if I find here the paintbrush, if I change from the stroke from, let me make this a little bit smaller, put it here. If I change from dots to red rectangle and I change the alpha, let's use the alpha 14, let's grab white color, and now we are going to be able to start, maybe you can see the fading effect or the blurred effect on the edges of the circle. You can fix it, changing the focal shift from 0 to -100, so you are going to be able to paint a better defined dot. So you can see you can calibrate with this plugin how big is the space, in this case the white dot, calibrated in millimeter. For example, if we are about to create a 2 millimeter, you just need to type in here 2, press the enter key and set the IMM draw size. So now you can start painting. You can see at any time when you are making your stroke, you can following your stroke with your hand or with your pencil, you can make it bigger or smaller, but you are not able to block the brush size. But if you select this stroke instead of the drag rectangle stroke, drag dot, you can see here you are going to be able to calibrate the dots in millimeters. In this case, we are painting millimeters here. If I go to 2.5 millimeter, 2.5, let me turn off the lazy mouse. So don't forget to press the button. So now we are painting 2.5 stones, or we are painting, in this case, we are not painting the stones physically, we are painting the necessary space that we are going to need to set the stones on this surface. And so here I have been using 2.5, 2.5, 2 and 1.5 millimeters stones. Like for example, if I start taking measurements from this point to this point, here it is 1.5 millimeter, this is 1 millimeter, and this is 2 millimeter. So that means when I am start distributing the different stones as a layout, or the different spaces, I'm sorry, or for the future stones, I can set up, I can control the space with this plugin. So let me see, this is a 2 millimeter, and so on. And if also you can use the standard brush. For example, if using the default standard brush, don't forget to turn off the Z add and change again from the alpha, this alpha 14, focal shift -100 from drag dot to drag dot 2 millimeter. So you are turn off the lazy mouse. So this is 2 millimeter, this is 1 millimeter. So you're about to start painting 1 millimeter, and that's it. Okay, we already have this layout controlled by different stone sizes, because I was making many changes, because when you are putting on stone, when you're trying to cover or to distribute or with many stones on a surface, the layout that you should follow will depend on the different stone sizes available. On, of course, the second thing to take into account is the form of the space, which even more with this kind of organic designs where the forms are not completely uniform. You can see here they have very regular shapes, and also they are having this kind of rounded surfaces. So the things could be complicated, or well, not complicated, but maybe it will take a bit of time trying to decide which is the better layout or the better distribution for, depending on the piece that you are working on. In this case, this is the even after trying many options, this is I think the better layout I found for the different parts of the bird. So next step from this point, it's going to be start making the spaces, the necessary spaces for the stones, right? For that, first step to take is I'm going to start making the cavity, because you can see here we are watching a real reference. For example, like this one. Let me see, this one could be a good example. I will paint here on the screen. Or you can see here, this is the, I'm painting on the screen. So this is the border. That means that the border I'm talking about this limit. And then we are having something like this. That means that here you can see this is a little lip, then goes down, and this is the surface. That means that this part, this is the number one, it's going to be this part, right? That means it's a raised or elevated surface. That means that the stones are a little bit lower than the limits of the surface. And here we have the prong. See, I'm talking about this little balls or little form that we have here. This is normally called in jewelry, this is the prong. This is the piece, the amount of metal, the piece of metal which is going to hold the stone in place. So now the stone will be here, and then we'll go the next prong. For example, the next here we have more than one prong for each stone, just for having a safe setting, just for keeping the stones in place. So that means that we are having now this surface. This is the surface we are having. Now is this surface, and we need to create this cavity. That means that here we will have the raised lip or the raised surface, and from this point we should go down. Then in this case we'll show up, in this case something like this, then we'll go down and we'll go up again. So that means that we need to make the necessary cavities, or the necessary, we can call this sockets, or maybe cavities it's a good way, it's a good name for them. So next step, before start placing the cutters or the negative spaces for the stone, I will need to create these steps I'm painting here. Hope it is clear. So how we can do that, it's just with different masks. So using the control key, focal shift -100, turning on the lazy mouse, lazy steps to 0, so we can start the painting. This is another good reason for having the layout painted on the surface. That means that I am watching the limits of the stones. Maybe I'm watching something like this. Let me think. Okay, if I paint, this is going to be the limit. If I invert the mask, maybe yes. Maybe I should go here. Then it should go here, and then I can keep painting the cavity with the mask. So following the contour. Till here, maybe till there. Something. It's not necessary to be 100% precise, because with the live booleans we are going to be able to fix things in parts when we don't have enough space, or having problems, or probably collisions with the stones. It's not going to be a big issue for fixing things, but this is the starting point, because the only thing that we need now, it's a new mesh, which we are going to use it making booleans for making the necessary cavity. That means that I will show you later. So that means maybe it's going to be like this. If we want to know how thick is this is the distance from left to right. So I can take my ruler. Here we are having a lip of 0.6 millimeter. Yeah, I think we are right. Maybe this is a little bit lower than 0.6. We are always around 0.6 millimeter, or maybe we can say half of a millimeter. So we're not going to have a lot of problems on the printing and on the casting. So it's a good distance. That means that we are working with enough material. Let's go down. Let's make the uniform distance between the border, and this is what we get. I can turn off my poly paint, and we can, let me improve a little bit. I said before we don't have to be very precise, but at the end I try to be as more precise as possible. But okay, we can go to the extract here, or even better, I am using another external plugin, very helpful for this kind of things, which is Precision Extract, this one, where we can control the thickness of the extraction. So keep an eye on this button, the double button. That means that we are about to extract the same amount of mesh from the outside and from the inside. So that means that if we are looking for a gap of, for example, in this case, 0.6 millimeter, that means that we have this button active. In total, we are going to create a thickness of 1.2 millimeter, but half of that 0.6 millimeter, it's going to be inside of the surface, of the existing surface that we're having here. So let's say 0.6 millimeter, keep double and create Precision Extract, and this is what we get. If I now, let me turn on the solo mode, I go to polish by feature, start polishing this, and now I can start making booleans. This one, if I turn this on, this is what we are doing. I think this should be here. No, or what is the body? The main body is this, so it should be underneath the body here. So okay, there you go. So this is, we just created a space of 0.6 millimeter. Maybe it's too much. If we think that it is too much, maybe what we can do is maybe, as we are currently having different polygroups, we can control tap here, and maybe we can push this in. That means that at this point we're going to be able to fix things. Let me turn off all the poly paint for all of the parts, and let's see what we can do. What we're going to do is now, just for being able to work with these two islands individually, I can apply a different poly group to each one, auto groups, and now let me paint a mask here. And now we're going to make this thing smaller, maybe shrink the mask like this. Maybe we can make it, or maybe we can fix it manually instead of using the gizmo, just using the move brush. You can see here how I am moving the surface, but I am moving also the top. Okay, let me see. I think now it should work like this. We can fix this. At this point, this is not the definitive, but maybe we can try to because here the surface here is not very regular. That's the reason why I'm having this strange gaps I'm having here. Maybe if I try to use the smooth groups, I can start smoothing this, or maybe isolating this and this, painting a mask and invert the mask and try to start applying a polish by feature here, just for adding more tension to this surface, or getting a more regular surface. Okay, with success, start looking better than before. Maybe let's see, we have a little gap there. We can use the smooth body, or maybe that is related to the topology. Yes, we have here a little strange vertex. Maybe it's gonna be time to start making a new mesh to avoid that. Maybe we can go to geometry, series measure, turn it on. I'm looking for half amount, keep the groups, don't apply any smooth to the groups, and give me quads, changing the adapted size value, and series measure. Yeah, now it looks better. We can fix this, and now we are having, okay, we are having something better. So let's start fixing. Let's try to be more closer to the water. This is the advantage we have using the live boolean I was talking about before. This is, we are not making definitive or fixed things. So that means that with the live boolean system of ZBrush, we are able to edit forms in real time, so without making the final calculation for the final boolean. So that means that we can fix the spaces, we can change forms, and this will be very, very helpful when we talk about the stone setting. Okay, we are going to start playing with the polygroups. Let's invert a group. Let's grow some rows, Control W to make a new polygroup. Let's start polishing like this, because I'm looking for more like this shape instead of. At this point, now we are having the two necessary islands or spaces for the stones. They are not 100% now definitive, almost, but depending on, but they are almost definitive. We can say yes, and now we are going to, let me start playing with the head. So this is the stones that we need on the head. That means that we are going to need the necessary the cavities, because you can see here, see here clearly what I'm saying, what I'm doing on this example, where here you're following the surface, and here you have a step here you're having a step, and this is the step that we're having here. That means this is the lip, this is the lip. That means this is the vertical wall, this is vertical, and this is flat. That means that I am doing something like this here, the same thing. This is this square I'm doing here, this is this cavity I'm doing here. We need a cavity to the inside, just for placing the stones inside. And also here we can using the H polish with the Alt key, maybe we are going to be able to create this more cavity like this, and then we can push this in, something like this. Smooth groups, think we are okay. I think only for the wings. Maybe I'm thinking about the rest, the other parts. Maybe they are going to be enough. Maybe we can start working on the chest, on the main body. Whoops. Using the same thing, doing the same thing here. Maybe we can save time using the make lasso. Okay. And using this thing. It's there. Should maybe now with the mask pen we can following the contour here. Oh, I forgot the branch on the stone distribution. Okay, so maybe it should end here. There. And maybe here, something like this. This is the kind of shape that we need. And in the border, the same thing here, and the same thing here. Here, the corner we need to be more precise there, and this is more or less the shape that we need. Let's remove the part of the mask that they are not necessary. For example, this, and this. Maybe on the back part, this. Okay, there you go. So we made it before 0.6. Let's try with 0.4 millimeter depth. So create a precision extract mask. Okay, let's see how it works. Nope, it's gonna be this one. Okay, let's go with instead of 0.4, let's come back to the body and do 0.3, the half amount of the first choice. So create precision extract. Okay, so let's go with this one, polish by feature, and something like this. Okay, now better. So we can stay this, and now we can select this polygroup, invert the mask, and make it smaller using the make it smaller this way, and this way. Fix this with dynamic. Okay, with the bigger brush size. Yeah. This with this. Okay, let's start polish by feature. Oops, only polish by feature, and okay. We can now change the topology. Okay, with the topology as we did before, serimeter with the same. Let's go to half, keep the groups, don't smooth, apply adapted size to 0, and we are going to be able to make any mess. Hola, pedagogía. Buenos días para ti, buenas tardes para mí. Hey, how are you doing? Good afternoon, Gosh. I'm fine, and you? How are you doing? Glad that you are here. Thank you for attending this live. Okay, we are done here. Let's pick this. This should be. You can see that during the process, maybe we start taking some decisions, but we realize that we were wrong. We should be fixing or deciding different or taking different decisions, because with this one I'm not yet very happy, because you can see here that what I did with the polygroups, I'm going to undo them, going back to the original, undo here, and what I'm going to do, which it works better on this, it's applying 2 different ways of polishing. The first, normal polishing, I think it's going to be enough, and then polish by feature, and then I think I'm getting with this better results than before, so we can keep this and let's keep working. I'm trying to work fast, just for don't be here making so many repetitive processes. I will try to give you more information about other different processes. Let's try the last similar process on the head. So we are going to start working on the head. So let me check the polygroups. Okay, I already have this polygroup here. This is going to be easier because it's not necessary to paint the mask. Just shrink the mask, and or you can go to the mask options, and you use dilute. You can see how it works. Shrink the mask, dilute, and sharp the mask. Maybe now grow the mask, just for fitting. Maybe go farther, grow the mask. Maybe like this, gonna be better. Maybe grow mask. I'm looking for a mask closer to the edge, to the border. Maybe grow the mask again. I'm making things twice because I think from the beginning it was good enough, but okay. You can do this, prepare the mask, and now we can start painting the necessary forms for the rest of the head. Mask pen. So this. Okay, maybe we can be closer to the edge, and like this. Let's follow till the end, till the border. The same thing here. This, now we can paint them. Remove there, and now we can repeat the same thing here. Here. And rounding the beak like this, I think we are done. Do that. Let's turn off the little brush here to remove the poly paint. Okay, and let me think. I did it wrong. Yeah, let me. Okay, if as I already have this already made, just for undo it and making it again. I did something wrong. Oh, no. I think I'm okay. So I need to paint this. Okay. This part first. And remove this. Because I only need to this. Okay, let me now fill this, and it should work. Looks like today is not my most inspired day. Maybe it's not good working on Saturdays, or maybe my mind is not prepared for this design, because I was working on a completely different thing before the streaming. So maybe let's see if I have some success today, giving to you good tricks and explanation about this design, because till now I'm a bit so this is the thing that I need. So okay, now I can remove this with the mask like this, and now yes, finally. Oof. So let's fix this a little bit. Let's fix this a little bit. Let's fix this. Let's give more space to the beak here. Let's go something like this. Okay, like this. I recommend to you, if you are making extractions from a mask, as I am doing, don't forget to sharpen the mask before pushing the extract button. So first sharpen the mask, and then you can press the extract button. It will give you a better defined extraction. So with this, we can go now to precise extract. Okay, this should be in the negative, and let's polish it. Let's maybe here, where is the eye? The eye here should be below the negative mesh, this way. Okay, and now we can using this, making the polish by feature. Now then go now to the zero measure, half, keep groups, smooth groups, adaptive size, and start creating the new mesh. So we can wait a little bit, and now we're gonna start smoothing this. We are having an issue here on the top. Let me undo it because it doesn't work. Maybe it's gonna be a better idea to polish this thing first and then polish by feature. Let's see now. Okay, it looks like now looks better than before. And now we can create a new mesh. What do you mean it's scruffy brown? Adaptive size stayed at 50. It did not register. What do you mean? I don't understand you, I don't know about what you're talking about. I'm not getting good results here. Let's undo it. Let's start it again. Let's differentiate the different polygroups. Auto group. and this is a new polygroup, and let's start working first on this one. Maybe we should, I don't know why let me go to, I'm having an issue here, but I'm still not sure about what I am moving everything. If I grow the mask, yeah, I think now it should work. Let's see. The mask now. Let's see now. When this. I don't know. I am moving this. If I grow the mask here. Yeah. I'm not now because I only want to move. I only want to move the bottom part. Let's try and make it with the gizmo. Something like this. I've now fixed it. Oh yeah, probably I was using the wrong order, so it's gonna be better to make it this way. This is the thing I was looking for since the beginning. Now I'm getting the kind of finishing that I was looking for. So now it looks better. Okay, now it looks much better. So maybe not necessary to show depth. We can get that dip here. Go. Playing with the cavity, with this, because I was looking for this kind of angle. This. Instead of this, I was looking for more this tapered angle here, but was not having success with the previous tries or test I was doing. But finally, maybe now it's gonna look better than before. But we should stay as closer as possible to the border. This because we are going to need as more space as possible for the stones. If not, we are going to create very small space, so it's not going to be possible to. So here for this, I'm going to make the necessary amount of material for setting this rounded stone on the eye. Maybe it's going to be possible to insert a cylinder here. Maybe does it have, okay, I need to remove the subdivision levels. Split mass points, and maybe we can put it here. Going to be necessary to have amount of metal there for the stone. Something like this. Maybe we can change the shape using the gear taper, just for making it more tapered like this. And I think it's going to be enough. Leave it this way. Okay, and let's keep working on these worms. can work on this one. No, this one. We can fix it. Start changing the angle first, like this. Let's by feature. This is the overlaying tool. This is the Epic pen. This is Epic pen. This one is this overlaying drawing tool I'm using. Re-inspired today. Looks like okay, of course this is it's not easy to make thing when we talk about we talk about the stones and the cavities that we need and this kind of things, but this is meticulous. How do you know how to pronounce it? So meticulous. When you should make things carefully or very careful or having success. Let's stay here. And also the problem I'm having is that we are having a little bit dense mess to work with. That means that when I'm trying to smooth the surfaces, they are difficult to have a nice smoothing or to nice smooth surfaces, because I'm working with a mess of composed by almost 500,000 polygons. That means that maybe when I'm trying to polish it, the effect is not very good, because as we are having an enough dense mess, we are not having the results we are looking for. We try to polish the different polygroups with the polish by feature option, and let's see, but we are making progresses. Okay, don't worry. So keep working. You're going to, okay. So you can see here the surface is not uniform. This is the thing that I don't like. It's gonna be better to get a more uniform mesh or surface. But I think it's going to be necessary to fix it manually with the sculpting brushes, or maybe trying to make a new mesh at this point, because now it looks better than before, making smooth by groups. Maybe something like this now looks better than before. Maybe I can fix this with the back face. Simple things looks easy when you try, but at the end, most of the time are the most complicated things. So this bird is gonna be small and simple, but you can see it takes a bit of time for getting, or at least for getting good results, of course. Let's see, we can stay not so close from the border. this. Let's smooth groups. Polish by feature. Okay. We're almost done, and now we have the necessary space or cavity for the stones on the head. Maybe here. Oh, we can isolate this. Maybe we can fix this. It is too close to the border. Let me polish and polish by feature now. Okay, let's see. I think let's start looking better. I'm gonna start being happy with the results. This has been taking a little bit more time than necessary, but okay, if we want good things, it's necessary to spend the necessary time. So let's stay there, and let me know if you have any questions about what I'm doing, because maybe I understand maybe the process I am following is looking a bit chaotic, because I'm trying to always try things or the processes as more linear as possible or simple, but in some cases, like the thing that we are doing, it start being complicated. So I'm sorry about that. Maybe I think it's going to be enough if I turn off the eye. So they're going to be enough. We can smooth group as normal, create polygroups, and press the D for just the dynamic subdivision, just for watching that cylinder. The smoother it should be more or less in the border like this. I think it's gonna be better. And now we can fix things like this. It becomes a robotic kind of bird. Let me save this file. This is going to be the progress number 3. Let me save it. Hi Samir, welcome. Yes, Crafty Brown, yeah, EpiPen is the name. It's a very useful application for painting or for drawing on the screen when you are working, because I like to being painting at the same time when I am working, because it's easier for me to explain things visually. I'm gonna change, let's start refining the shapes even more for a person like me, which the control that I have about my English is not very good. So in many cases it's much better to explain things visually with drawings and illustration better than trying to use the right words, because not on all of the cases I find the right words. So that's the main reason why I try to paint things or making explanation with drawing. Okay. Now here I have a different form. Maybe it gives a better, more interesting shape there, like this. Okay, let's go further with the stone. Maybe we can start because for the wings I'm looking forward to create a kind of texture on the wings, on the feathers of the wings, not leave them flat. Maybe it's going to be interesting if I apply a kind of a texture. Let's see what we can do. We already have the polygroups. You can hear here. We were doing this in the first streaming. Maybe how many polygons we have, a very low resolution mesh. Maybe it's time to start subdividing the mesh 1-2 times. Now we are having one in a million. 1 in a million is going to be enough. And then I have something in mind about the texture. Maybe it's going to be a good idea to have this kind of stripes or lines on the feathers of the tail. Let me check the other references, or maybe something like this that we have, just for not leaving a flat boring surface there. What we can do is let's make a try. So we can Control Shift and click here. Now we are having the same polygroup to all of them. Now we can apply one single polygroup to each one. So auto groups. Now we have each feather with each face of the feather with a different polygroup. We can select this one. Okay, and it's gonna be a good idea to store the morph target first before start making any sculpting. Now we can isolate this, paint the mask, invert the mask, and now we can start painting the stripes. Okay, we can use, let's start trying the ZBrush, this one, with the freehand stroke, with a shorter lazy radius. Maybe we can see that it doesn't look very good. Maybe with less intensity, even less. Like this, maybe more, or maybe we can use this Nacho. Okay, I think this one is going to work better. Okay, now selecting the right camera angle like this, maybe horizontally, more or less horizontal. If we go to our stroke settings, let's keep them open, because here we have a very interesting button that says interpolate. We can do cool things like this. The thing that I'm gonna try to make, interpolate like this. Looks okay. Let's try paint the first one. This one is gonna be the first one. This is the last one. Okay, it doesn't work. I don't know why. It is interpolate. No, it doesn't work. For any reason, it is choosing the wrong. So it's gonna be necessary to make them manually. So we can start paint them manually, making a texture like this. Let's see how it looks like. I think looks good. As we made a morph target first before start sculpting, we can do this. Let me grow the mask, invert the mask, and now with the morph target, that we can fix the borders. And it will looks much better, or cleaner than before, having more something like this. Okay, so let's start working on the first one. On the next one, we can using the same brush as before, the chisel brush. Start making the strokes. Get visible. Repeat the same thing as before. So in this case, shrink the mask, morph target brush. Okay, I think. What do you think? That thing looks looks good for me. It looks good enough. Trying to repeat the same thing here. ZBrush, where are you? Here. Yeah. Continue. I will try the interpolate again. If I paint this, if I paint the first and the last, it doesn't work. Keep making the strokes. Maybe like this, give it a more manual feeling. Not so perfect. Last one, or maybe we can apply a tiny one at the end. Yeah. This, getting this, getting this. I made this wrong. Okay, something like this. Let's see how it looks like. Oh, I am noticing maybe I made the wrong angle. Necessary to come back again. History, because it's gonna be better to change the angle this way. I think it looks more interesting. If we talk about a texture for feathers. Okay, I think like this looks better. Okay, today is not the day. But we can try to make them fast there. Like this, like this, like this. Okay, I think now, yeah, now it looks better than before. Let's repeat. Let's go with the last one. Good afternoon. What are some things to keep in mind while working? Things to keep in mind while working. Oh, maybe you need to be more precise about your questions. Things to keep in mind. Okay, maybe we can say be concentrated about what you are doing, or at least try to be concentrated, and or be focused about what you are doing. Maybe it's a different question to answer, maybe, because maybe each person is having different feelings or different way of working, depending on the person, depending on the thing that you are doing, depending on the kind of job, of course, that you are doing. We are talking about the sculpting. Maybe For me, the thing which works better is to be concentrated, to try to don't think about more things than the object that you have in front of you. It sounds easy, but in most of the times it's not that easy as it sounds. But yeah, it's difficult. Biku, that's where does your type of work fall into the industry? What kind of clients? Well, into the industry, I'm working for the jewelry industry, or for the, maybe we can say more for the 3D printing industry. Most of the time of the commissions of our jobs that I receive are for making jewelry objects. But we talk about 3D printings, we can reach many different industries, but most of the times are related to the jewelry industry. Yeah. When we talk about jewelry, there are many different kinds of jewelry. When we talk about jewelry, we are making objects which are able to be wear on our bodies. So depending on the brand or depending on the style, maybe we are talking about a style or a kind of ring, different kind of rings, different kind of pendants, different kind of bracelets. There are many different kinds of styles or industries inside of the jewelry industry. Of course, if we talk about other industries, all of the industries have their own styles, or even different brands. Each brand has their own style, depending on the mentality or many aspects. That means that we talk about jewelry, we are not always talking about the same thing over and over again. So I receive many different kind of styles and even kind of objects which are converted into a jewelry piece. Even if we talk about maybe the name, the word jewelry, it's difficult to define. Okay, so we have the wings, the feathers on the wings. Let me make this thing a little bit more flat, because maybe it's gonna be time to start working on the stones, on the settings. We talk about the stone setting. We have a flat surface, as more flat surface as possible. That means that it's going to be easier to put the stones in place. We're having a very regular surface. It's going to be more difficult to have success. Okay. So next step to take is, for example, I'm going to keep maybe I can put it here. Give me a minute, because I'm going to use the render I did where you are here. I'm going to drop it here. Put it here. So when here, this is going to be useful for understanding the distribution. So that means that I'm going to start using my custom brush for hems. Let's keep this here, and that means this is an insert brush. You can see where am I can start working on a subtool which hasn't subdivision levels. Maybe this one, no, maybe this one, okay. maybe the beak. No, but well, I can remove the subdivision. We can start. I can start them placing things like this. But you can see if I'm using the beak and this subtool, this one, the beak is here, this subtool is here. That means that this subtool will subtract this one. That's the reason why if I'm using the beak as a support, you can see here this subtool is affecting the mesh I am inserting. But if I change the organization, that means if I grab the beak and I put it underneath here, like this, now that means that I'm going to, you can see it doesn't affect anymore the insert mesh I am putting on the surface. First step to take is tell to ZBrush which is the stone size I am about to set on the surface. Maybe if I remember well, this is 2mm. Set IMM door size. At any time when we are growing the mesh, if I press the Ctrl key, we are going to block the size to the desired measurement, in this case 2mm. But you can see here it is laying on the surface, but it should be placed here inside. We can do it manually with the gizmo, but even better, we can go to this graphic and change it. The horizontal black line means the surface. That means you can see here. Maybe we can put it deeper, and now it works better. So that means that we are going to need a stone here. Let's split mass points. Another stone here of 2mm. Maybe we can fix the form. Maybe we should change from 2mm to 1.5mm. 1.5. Set the scene. Now this is a new one, and now we can change from positive to negative, and this is what we are doing. And then keep placing the stones. This goes 1.5mm, again 2mm, one here. Let's try to be as closer as possible to the nearest stone and to the border, just for having a good space distribution. Maybe we can put another one here. Here we are having an issue here. That means that we are not having enough space here. But as I was saying before, using the live Boolean system, it's a great tool you have inside of ZBrush. That means that we can keep changing things according to the necessary space that we need. For example, it tells me that I'm gonna need a bigger wing, so selecting the wing, the base, I can with the move infinitive. I can make it longer because I need more space. Now I'm going to change when I select the mesh which is making the cavity, so I can start fixing the necessary cavity like here. It's gonna be enough. Let's select the wing again. Let's make the wing bigger, and there you go. So maybe higher like this, and maybe deeper like this. And we start getting the thing that we need. So now once we have the stones in place, we can fix better the cavities, or even with adapting the frame, how the cavity is framing this. And there you go. Maybe we should go a little bit more far away from this stone. Maybe this. Maybe the wing now is affecting the head. The head should be fixed as well. Okay, I'm working on that, on this cavity, so it should be here, and then here it should be. Let's see how these adjustments are affecting to the stones of the head, but this has, like this works fine. Maybe we can fix this corner and looks good. Same thing here. And for the other part of the wing, it looks like it is working fine. If okay, and it like this. Maybe I'm having here an issue. Need to shrink the mask. And let's push this in. Here. And see, you can see how flexible you can be with organic forms when you need the spaces for making pavés. Things like this works good, so let's save it. We'll start making progresses. So let's start working on the body, where I have I don't know, 1 millimeter. So we can grab the previous brush instead of 2. This is 1 millimeter. So let's start placing the stones here. Here I have one and a row of different stones of 1 millimeter. Maybe we can place them in a different subtool. If I select this subtool, if I start putting the stone here, just or keep them separated as individual areas, so split mask points. So let's keep placing the stones here. And the last one. And let me check. Yeah, I'm going to open the 3D file because here I'm not watching very well what is happening here on the sides. If I'm using this, okay, we are having a row of here I have 1 millimeter, 1.5, 1.5, 4 stones of 1.5 millimeter. Okay, we should change from 1 to 1.5. So let's start placing the next row. We have 4 stones in a row. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What does it mean? It means that we need more space here. Should push this up and push this down. Start opening this space just for having more space like this. Okay, then we are done. There, fix it. Maybe we can fix this little. At any time we need to control the gap or the depth of the gap, you can start taking measurements with the gizmo, with the transpose line from here to here. It's 0.3 millimeter. Okay, it's good enough. This is, we are almost having an average of around the cavity of 0.3 millimeter. It should work. So, but maybe we need to be, I'm noticing that I made a mistake here. That means that big mistake, because maybe this should be much more closer to this. That means that we are going to have more space for the stones than the previous try, so it should be much more closer to the border, to here. And now you can see if I turn on the, see now the stones are a bit far away from the border. So let's repeat them. Okay, let's start again. So we were starting with, let me fix this first. Okay, we started from 1.5 millimeters. So let's put one here. No, I was put it here. Let's put it here. Split my points. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we start using 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter. 1. Oh, I am making a new mistake. Today is not the day, so that means that this is very too deep. Push this out a little bit. It's better to fix these things or to keep these cavities on its more or less definitive places. In this case, it's not going to be a big issue because we can move them out a little bit, the stones, but you can see here we are start getting problems. But they should be open like this. Yeah, like this looks, it has more sense. What we can do is we are working with this. Maybe, of course, this one should be lifted and place it on its right position. But the problem that we are having now, it like we should be modifying the placement of the stones one by one. Okay, not a big issue, but if we are trying to be fast like this, but it's better to make things. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I delete hidden, and maybe we can repeat this too manually like this. Maybe here we are going to have space for adding another 1.5 millimeters. So let me put this here. Okay, something like this, and here let's change from 1 to 1.5 again. Let's see, we have enough space. Yeah, almost. Maybe it's gonna be a good idea to move this one. Put it closer, and now we are going to have enough space here. Okay, now it looks better. Okay, so that means that we need to start putting another row of 4 here of 1.5 millimeter using this kind of distribution. 1, 2, 3. Maybe we can't copy exactly the same layout we were trying when we were painting the stone, but we're gonna try to follow. Let's go from another big one. That means that 2mm. And also it is interesting by the lips and the branch. If we are able to combine different stone sizes, the pave looks nicer. Maybe here we are not going to have enough space for another of 2. Maybe we would change from 2 to 1.5. Boink. Yeah, it should work. Maybe this one should work. Another one here, yes. Because we can fix this. Fix this. This. Oh, now we can change again from 1.5 to 1, and we can keep trying to cover those gaps with another one here, another one here. I think we are done. Maybe we can do is I'm gonna try to remove this one. Always when we're working with paves, with stones distribution, it's a very high time-consuming process, because it's not very linear way of working when you start from the beginning till the end following the same path. So that means that maybe in some cases we are having we are taking decision which we need to change during the process. That means where do I have this subtool? Oh. Okay. I going to need to split this from this to. I'm trying to paint the mask here. Oh, come on, like this. So split mask points. Okay, done. I think it's going to be necessary to remove this one. I was saying that this is not a liner process. In many cases, as this is a good example, what I am doing now, it's because I'm trying to make things at once or at the first time, but it is not possible because I am watching problems and then I am trying to fix the problems, then watching a new problem, fixing the problem. This is always, most of the time happens when we talk about making paves. You looks better now. And now we can use better this space, pushing this stone here. Putting a new one in this gap. Maybe we can use another one here. Great. Okay, so looks bad, looks good. So let's save it. Okay, no more questions or comments. I think there are more people watching the streamings during the week instead of the weekends. What do you think? Maybe people are working, or people are more making things on their desks. So maybe on Saturday or on the weekends, people are more outside or making other things than being in front of the computer watching ZBrush live streamings. Okay, we can what we can do more. We can try to make more progress on the head. So let's start working on the head. So this is corresponding to the chest, and this is the chest as well. This is one. I should turn this off, right? I need to get rid of this subtool. This is the chest, so let me rename it. This is the chest, and this is the wing. Just the wing and the wing, and now we are gonna start working on the head. So let's start working with 1.5 millimeter. Ooh. Maybe 1.5 is too optimist. Maybe here we can put a stone here of 1.5, and now 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter. 1 there, 1 here. What about one more? Let's see. Yeah, maybe if we check if we are going to have enough space here. Looks like yes. Yes, we are having enough space here. We're going to have enough space, yes, like this. And even if we may open this space like this, we are going to have space for trying another 1.5 millimeter. Let's see, 1.5 again. Boink. Yes, 1.5 should work. And now let's change to 1 and 2. Maybe 2 is a bit optimist. Let's keep 1, and let's try how it works if we change a little bit this form, making it more something like this. And not well, I don't like it. Maybe we can push the eye a little bit up. And maybe we can move this second subtool stone more to the middle. Maybe here, more closer here. And then we can put the third stone of 1 millimeter here. I think now better. No, it works. It works better, yeah. I think it works better. Okay. Yeah, I was saying that before because looks like less people are making comments or talking. Yeah, I think the interesting thing about making streaming is just the contact that you have with more people when you are working. So it's not just being here making your stuff and that's it. I think it's more interactive if people likes to be talking or sending comments, suggestion or critics during. Make this thing smaller, like this. And this is the first time that I make I'm a stream in a weekend. In this case, during a Saturday. This is the first time. My first experience, and I'm noticing that more people are talking during the streamings in the middle of the week. I used to stream on most of the time, maybe Wednesdays or Saturday or Thursdays. Wednesdays or Thursdays. And looks like there are more people. Start placings, trying to follow the layout as I did before. Change to 1.5 now. Change again to 1. Yeah. And let's see, on the 3D we have 2 more. Okay. We can change to 1.5. Add the stone here, another one here. Ooh. Let's see, we should be careful here. We're using good the spaces. Maybe I can push this stone up. Yeah. We're making more room for the next one. Maybe it's gonna be up 1. I'm going to need even more space. Let's keep it even closer to the border. So let's put it here, and there you go. So we are almost there. What we can do is try to rearrange a little bit this. Okay. Okay. When will Silver start? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe things has changed. Things has changed, yes, or have changed. and now maybe the way that the normal way that you know ZBrush have changed during the last few years. I don't know. Maybe you still, as far as I know, you can still working with the versions before the 2023 versions. I mean 2022. You can keep working with that kind of, with your old license. Let's start working with the last part, 1 millimeter. One, maybe 1.5 now. One millimeter again. The next day, maybe the next month, we will work on this design again, and I think we will make I will show you an interesting thing. It's to make the design or the piece hollow inside, and how to, let's see, how do we fix, or how do we design the interior of the bird. So I think I'm gonna try to make something interesting. Let's save it, because jewelry designs, they are not only interesting if we talk about what is happening on the outside. Very interesting things are happening inside of the piece, of the design. So I will try to let's see what we do. So I will try to make it something interesting to show. I'm still fixing the forms, maybe still sculpting the shape of the head. I will try to work on this piece in my free time, maybe more, because just for giving to you more interesting content on the streamings, because if not, you can see, or try at least try to make the boring parts, or try to bring the boring parts done before the streaming, or just for trying to give you more interesting content, not repeating over and over, or and having mistakes during the different processes, as I did today. Okay, and now maybe we can work on the feathers. That's the last thing. Maybe we can work on this feathers first. We can, okay, let me split the head from the chest, split mask points. So this is the rename head. So we have the head, the chest, and the wing already made. Let me fix this. Maybe we can fix this thing, and let's work on these wings. So we're gonna start from the feathers, from the head, sorry. Hand cutter, maybe 1 millimeter. It's gonna be a good choice. 1 millimeter, 1 millimeter. Maybe here on the tip, 1 millimeter. And one more millimeter. And maybe we can go to 1.5 now. 1.5. 1.5. 5 and 1.5 millimeter. Maybe we can keep using 1 millimeter here. Yeah, the branch will have texture. I will sculpt manually the texture of the branch. Something similar, simplified texture. Not very complicated. But because we are talking about a small piece, so we should not be very worried about the details, because it's going to be a very tiny piece of metal. So, but just for not having a boring flat surface. But I will try to make an interesting, like that, maybe like this, showing something like something like this for the branch. Just for having a good contrast between surfaces covered by stones, flat surfaces with shiny surface with a lot of reflections, and textured matte or non-shiny textures. I will make also a texture on the. And let's go for the branch, for the feathers. This is the feathers. Okay, let's split them. Split mask points. And here we have, where are they? Here. Rename. This is the feathers. And now we can use 1.5 millimeter stones here. But before do that, it's going to be necessary to make the extraction as we did before. mask pen. Be here, or the cavity. All the stones here, the same thing here. This. This. Closer as possible to the border. This. And maybe we can change the angle here. This. And then let me fix this to make it more straight, like this, and maybe we can make it longer. This better, and precision extract. This is the negative. So like this. This one. Okay, and the same thing here. Here we can make a better usage of the available space, like this. Okay, and now we can start putting the stones, starting with 1.5, for example. Here we have 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and 1 millimeter then. 1 millimeter, 1 more, 3 in a row, so that means that we are going to need more space here. Also the feather needs to be a little bit longer. Wider space like this. Okay. Which renderer do you use to present my stuff? I use Keyshot. I'm a Keyshot user. I'm only use Keyshot for rendering. That's my choice for making my renders. Also make a tutorial of a complex ring. What do you mean? What do you call a complex ring design? Yes, I comment the same thing. If any of you knows another YouTube channel or place is specialized on jewelry design, please comment or attach it to the comments, because it's gonna be interesting for all of us. But because if we say complex ring, depending on the kind of ring you are thinking, depending on the kind of complexity, I was making maybe not complex for you, but another rings on my previous streamings, because there are many different kind of style. Maybe also I'm always trying to make things interesting, not only for you, but also of course trying to make things which I like the most, or the style that I prefer to make. Probably traditional jewelry, rings, like wedding bands, or with huge stones in the center of the ring. They are not the kind of design that I like the most, or even they are not the kind of design that I have more experience to make. So maybe I'm not making such kind of designs or rings in this case because I don't like it and I haven't got enough experience about them. Okay, let's turn on the branch. Let's see how it looks like, everything. We can move the branch. Where's the branch? Here. Maybe we can move down and put it closer to the leaves. Here. And now we'll start getting something almost finished. If we talk about the stones. Okay, I think if we talk about the process of the branch, here we have the branch. Here it is still composed by different polygroup or for different elements. It has subdivision levels. Maybe we can remove them. We can use the gizmo, click on the gear, and remove by union. So that means that we have weld them everything together. Now we can go to series measure with double amount. So we are going to get a mesh composed by the double amount of polygons. And now we can start polishing this or polishing this, still having more organical thing. Let's see how thick is this. Oops, and this is here we are having a branch of 1.3 millimeter, a branch of 1.6. Maybe a good trick could be, for example, if you like the sense of lightness when you are having something like this, that means that it's not possible, or you don't want to make it thicker, because if not, they won't look the same, or they won't look nice. What you can do is start working on the Z-axis. That means that we can group front. Now we're having two polygroups. Now we can make a mask here, invert the max, and we can make it thicker here, like this. So that means that even from the front, we are still having 1.3 millimeters. We're having more strength to the profile. That means that the branch is not going to be easy to break, because we are making it stronger, making it thicker, but not in the front view, but yes in the side view. That's a smart thing. This kind of tricks works when we are making reliefs, or when we are making brooches, like brooch like this, or pendants, where we can play with the Z, with the depth of the design. If we start trying to make texture like this, let's start trying. Maybe we can start using the H polish to start making a branch finishing like more like this. Like this, and maybe we can use with the H polish. You can use the Alt key to start making things like this, which are very cool when we are creating branches or trees. For example, when we are creating the nuts, or the maybe here, I'm using the H polish with the Alt key. here. And for example, here we can add a new one like this. And we can put don't know, maybe here. Like this. And maybe we can put another one here. This. And now we can start subdividing the mass. We are start making the texture on the surface. Maybe it's gonna be good if we break this into this edge polish. Another good brush for making this, you can use the move infinity with the AQ curve active. You can start breaking the curves and start making corners like this. And the trim dynamic, it's a good brush to make this kind of stuff. You can see here we are having problems with these stones. That means that these stones of the row hasn't any sense, so I will get rid of them. So hide and delete hidden. They are not going to be necessary. And like this, okay. Maybe this feather we can push it a little bit to the left. Okay, like this. And now we can start working on the texture. For example, grabbing the SK slash with the alpha 39. This is my favorite alpha. I'm changing the H style from 1 to 2. And now changing the focal shift with the negative, and we can start could be a good idea to store the morph target first. And now we can start making the texture. Trying to have a good rhythm for the strokes, an interesting flow, not just parallel lines, but trying to give this. Yes. Okay, I think it looks good. Maybe we are not too much worried about what is happening on the sides, because as I said before, this is going to be a very tiny piece. But we don't need to be too much concerned about what is happening on the sides, on the bottom, but maybe we can end texture on even less what is happening on the back, because the back is not going to be visible. But okay, we can add a bit of texture also on the back. not too much. Maybe something like this is going to be enough. Like this. Now we can grab the clay build up, maybe with 2, no, maybe with 1. No, maybe we can add more. Following the previous path with the other brush, we can continue trying to follow the same strokes or the same layout. For example, making a knot here. Trying to follow something like this. Again, this is going to be a very tiny piece, so things they are not going to be so detailed as we are watching them on the screen. But in terms of don't be wasting too much time sculpting surfaces which are not going to be visible on the final piece. But again, in terms of if we are looking for a good render, for example, maybe yes, we should be worried about the finishings, but something like this, maybe we can apply some polishing and we'll start getting something interesting. Hi, what matcap am I using? I'm using the ZBrush clay set matcap. You can read it here. If you type in on Google the word ZBrush, you will find a big amount of different matcaps or resources, which they are very, very cool. And this is part of a package of different clay material. You can see all of them start by ZBrush clay set. This is a clay set of different matcap materials for ZBrush. So they are for free and they're very, very interesting. And this is one of them. Hey, dropped off. Welcome. The blocked version without any stones or textures looks so awesome. Okay, thank you. Did you consider making a minimalistic version of this piece without? Yeah, sure, could be. Maybe with enamel. Yeah, but we talk about enamel, this is a very small piece. It's like 27 millimeter high in total. Because I consider interesting to cover this little guy with the stones, just for showing to you my process of stone setting. And the most interesting thing is what is going to happen inside of the bird with the stones. So how I'm going to make it hollow, how I'm going to start opening the lights or the holes for each stone, trying to draw a cool layout inside of the piece, and just for giving more techniques about the ZBrush for jewelry, not just for stuff related of sculpting techniques. This is maybe more technical stuff, but sure, maybe we can in the future, maybe we can make a more minimalistic with more flat surfaces, maybe covered with the different colors made by enamel, for example. I'm agree with you. I most of the time I tend to make things minimalistic and simple. But in this case, I thought maybe it's interesting to show techniques mainly about the stone setting. Not only on the front, what is happening on the outside, but also what is happening on the inside of the piece. So we will cover that on the next streaming. Working on the inside of the piece. Okay, so we are. I think we have ready. Maybe we can break the rhythm a little bit, like making things like this. with the move brush, applying some touches. And a good thing, a good feature inside of ZBrush, inside of the deformation, you have the contrast slider here. This is very useful when we talk about textures like this one. When we can apply a bit of more contrast, you can see we can enhance, and you can see the things becomes more defined. In some cases, works better when we are working like this with this kind of texture of a branch. Maybe we went from here to here. You can see the differences. Here the texture looks softer, and now after the enhance option or the contrast, it looks more defined and maybe interesting. Here, maybe we can make it this little cavity here. Polish with the clay build up. Maybe we can finish this. I think we are done for today. To start thinking of finishing this streaming. I will be here next month as usual. I used to stream once a month, and I will be here in March working on this design again. So let me save it first. Thank you, Trotov. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I think it will look nice even with the stones. I'm agree with you about the simplified version, but maybe it will look one. It is covered by colored stones. It will look. I think it will look good with different stones, colored stones with different areas, with different finishings. Okay. Okay. Maha, awesome building technique for the blue diamond. Thank you. Thank you very much. So yeah, this is maybe a simple technique. As I was saying before, it takes time for putting all the stones together on the right place, or even I still need to add the prongs. When I start adding the prongs, I will start adding even more problems or more difficulties. But working with the stones is very challenging. So maybe this is a love and hate kind of work, but I think once you get everything done, it works. But during the sculpting or the designing process, you just start getting crazy when you are working with pavés. But I will try to make it fun for you, or let's try to make it interesting. Okay, so thank you very much, Vector. Glad you like the branch. So now the branch looks different than before. So, but maybe I can still tweaking things a little bit more. But I think it's almost maybe 90% done, I think. Okay, let's save. Let's make a render of this process. I will post it on my social media websites. Just to show you that you are interested on my work, I will give you my link tree, where you have access of all of my places where you find different renders of my work. I will post it here on the chat to all of you. And you talk Spanish, or the people from Spain and from South America, Spanish talking people, and this month, clicking on the first link, this month I will give a masterclass about digital sculpting for applied to jewelry. The days 19, 25 and the 4th, 19 and 25 of February and the 4th of March, when I will be giving a masterclass about ZBrush and jewelry, sculpting different this is exercise and explaining different digital sculpting techniques applied to jewelry design. So just in case you are interested, so I will give you will have this link on my link tree as well in the first button. Okay, so we are done for today. And I just found out about this side of the 3D industry here on this web. Yeah, I think it is very interesting, and I'm glad to be here just to try to show you a different point of view of different industries than usual, because many people here on the ZBrush Lives are making stuff about characters, about maybe most of them related to video games or animation, sometimes about 3D printing, but maybe most of the time always focused about the main industries. And if we talk about the jewelry industry, it's a completely different industry when you can find many different jobs if you are using ZBrush. So just give it a look, and thanks for coming. Okay, so let me check everything is ready. And okay, so we are done. So I will see you here next month, March, maybe at the middle of the month, or maybe at the end of the month. I will see. Let's take a look to the ZBrush Live website. Let me find it for you. You go to here, just pay attention to the ZBrush Live website, where you will get the calendar section here, where you will have all of the next streamings during the month. And if you are paying attention to probably each week, so you will find me next month, so you will know when I will start making my next streaming about ZBrush and jewelry. So okay, so thank you everybody. So stay here with me during these 2 hours and stay safe, and see you next month. Bye everybody.